live button. An error occurred.
All
Well,
right.
it says we are live.
We are live. We are live.
Welcome, everyone. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining the Millionaire Ladies Mob Thursday evening live Facebook. Thank you. My name is Aaliyah Sherrod, and tonight it's myself and Carmen. We're going to host
Yay!
tonight.
Yeah.
Saran is traveling, and Shalonda has other commitments tonight. But we are still representing, aren't we, Carmen?
We sure are. We sure are representing for the Millionaire Ladies Mob. And if you're here, we welcome you. We thank you for joining us. We want you to stay. Aaliyah and I are the grandmothers of the Millionaire Ladies Mob. But as Aaliyah would say, we are not.
We are not your typical grandmother.
No, we're not. We're
We
not
are
your
not.
typical grandmas. So
That
tonight, though, it's awesome because we're talking about Grandma Knows Best.
Yes, grandma knows. Now, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I would not have said that, but it is true. Tonight, grandma knows best. We're going to talk about all things, how can I say it? Money, helping children to make sure that, okay, it's telling me I'm going live, but I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're still live. We keep getting that error.
Okay. We're going to help you or talk to you about teaching your children the value of money, how credit can impact their finances, a lot of other things about how to show them. Carmen's going to go in depth on financial literacy because we hear that all over the internet. But we're going to talk about those things because as grandmothers, we have a responsibility. So let's introduce ourselves and maybe give our beginnings, and then we can go into it, Carmen.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. So, guys, I am Carmen Bernard. I am the founder and CEO of Big Facts. Big Facts is a financial and consultant service that helps you to protect your income, eliminate debt, reduce taxes, make sure that you have a retirement, tax free retirement income that you cannot outlive, and set you on a path to on a path or a legacy of generational wealth. If you want to know what Big Facts stands for, BIGFACS, it is Bernard Insurance Group Financial and Consultant Services. I think it's apropos because all I bring to you is big facts.
That is wonderful. Yes, you do, Carmen. Thank you so much. And my name is Aaliyah Sherrod. And what I do every day is I provide solid solutions to the biggest problems today in healthcare. And I help families, those that are Medicare eligible also, and employer groups. If you're a small business, I help them save money, get incredible coverage, reduce and or eliminate the anxiety about surprise medical bills because it happens every day. I also help families to protect their income, eliminate debt, reduce taxes, and I am an advocate for creating and helping build family legacy and wealth for generations. So that's what I do. And you know what? We're going to get right into that. You can reach us. Let me talk about where you can reach us. You can join our Facebook group at Millionaire Ladies Mob. You can reach us at millionaireladiesmob at gmail.com. And we're also on YouTube. So just follow us and you'll find out all types of things. Even if you are listening to our broadcast later, just share, like and share the broadcast so that we can get this information out to as many parents and grandparents as possible. And even if you're a child and you're listening, talk to your parents about this. So let's get started, Carmen. So
That's right. That's right. Please share this information. It is imperative that we get this information out in our community because for so long we this is not taught. This is not none of this. If you were like, oh my God, I didn't know that. You weren't supposed to know that. It was not taught. It wasn't taught in high schools. It wasn't taught in colleges. Not taught in churches. Not taught. You might have a master's degree, still not come across this information. You may have a higher degree, a doctorate degree in your specific specification or whatever it is, and you don't know it because this information is not taught. And so tonight, since we are the grandmothers of the group, we wanted to talk to you. If you have grandchildren, or even if you have children and you expect grandchildren coming up, or you hope to have grandchildren, these are some things we want to talk about that as grandmothers we can do, because parents are super busy, but we can, if we learn this information, we can pass it on. I call it generational education. We cannot talk about generational wealth without talking about generational education. We cannot acquire wealth and not know what to do with it. Otherwise, we will squander it and it will not be generational anymore, right? Well, you'll probably have some money now, but it doesn't pass down like the Rockefellers passed down their wealth from generation to generation to generation. And that is on purpose. And now we have to do that on purpose as well.
Absolutely. And Carmen, I saw your post with your little grandchildren. They were all in a row. And so these are the people who are going to be in the future for us, 50 and 60 years from now. And I thought it was so cute about your family. You gave a little, and this is what it's all about. It's about family. I post my grandkids, and back in the background, I'm trying to help them to understand finances. So let's talk about back in the day when we were young. Okay, we didn't talk about money a lot in the family. Our grandparents, we didn't talk about money with them. We didn't talk about, do you have life insurance? What do you want to happen when something happens to you? Do you have money? What's going to happen if something happens to you with that money? We didn't talk about that. It was just a quiet situation. You knew
Yeah.
grandma, grandpa had some money. You knew they had a house, but you didn't know what was going to happen to it. There's so many things that we can do with our family members if we talk about things. We can avoid tons of taxes, estate taxes, probate. We can avoid all that stuff if we just talk about it. And so what we want to do is encourage you to talk to your children, your grandchildren about your finances. Make sure you share that information. Yeah, it's confidential. If you can't trust your child, have somebody that you trust that understands it. And we also were talking about, I was this was real interesting when back in the day, you could all you the family shows that we saw, the family was always broke. They were trying to make ends meet. There was nothing, but they were happy. But that's not the typical family now today. That's not.
I
People.
don't think that was the family back then. I
Well,
think that's
you
what they
remember good
wanted.
times?
I
You
think
remember
that's
good
what they
times?
wanted to that's what they wanted to portray um,
Yes,
on television. And the
yes,
truth of the matter is that wasn't all of what represented us
right.
back then. But here's the other thing. You mentioned something very specific, which was we didn't include children on finances. We grew up with those beliefs like children should be seen and not
Right,
heard, and that children should not be in grown folks' business.
right,
Here's the problem with that, right? Children then grow up into adults who know nothing about finances, and so now they go out and make the same or worse mistakes than we did. Because now, back then, credit might have been a little bit harder for people to get. Now it's in their faces. They land on a college campus. They land even when they made some changes that some of these predatory creditors couldn't just let go on their college campuses and just do whatever. They were at the coffee shops by the campuses. They're under a different guise. They came now, oh, we're going to teach them about money, or we're going to do whatever. But what end up happening is those people are leaving with a bunch of debt because they don't even understand that. They heard, hey, we're going to give you this card and you can use it to buy whatever you want. Hey, Saran, you can use it to buy whatever you want, but they didn't talk to them about what happened if they didn't pay it back, and if they didn't pay it back within a certain time, and how that affected them. So it is we put this in place, right? We carried on from generation to generation. Children should be seen, not heard. Children should not be in grown folk businesses. Children should not learn about finances. So it's up to us to break it. And we are the grandmas that's starting and making sure that it gets broken now, because that is what starts a whole bunch of limiting beliefs for the children, and that keeps going on. So we have to break that. We have to communicate a different way.
Right. And change our language, show our kids how to create income. Well, maybe we don't know how to do it, but the internet is a wealth. We didn't have the internet 30 years ago. I remember when a friend of mine came to me and he says, there's going to be something called the World Wide Web, and you're going to be able to put something in a computer. I remember this conversation. And
Right.
you can get, I'm like, no, I don't believe that. Well,
Right.
it's happening. There's so
Remember
much
when they
information.
told you? Remember when they told you, yeah, guess what? We'll be home and we'll be able to just press some buttons and order stuff. Just think back when Amazon started. It was a freaking bookstore, and we didn't believe. Now,
Yep.
who can live without Amazon? I don't know.
You must
I,
be looking in my living room.
listen, I told myself, listen, if I found out that Amazon was owned by the devil, I'ma still have to order. I'm sorry.
Oh no. you
Y'all,
know,
please forgive me. But I'm telling you, I can order something today, to sometimes at 11 at night and 7 a.m. in the morning.
it's at your door.
It's at my door. I mean, they put a distribution center not very far from me, so maybe that helps. But I can get everything in, maximum of 2 days. Recently, they've been messing up a little bit here and there. They cancel an order, or I didn't get something. But there's no way. Why would I leave my house? Let me not get into that. But what I'm saying, it's now so much easier for children to get into trouble
Yes.
with these kinds of things. So we have to talk to them.
Yes.
So, what was one of the first things that we wanted to talk to grandmas? Everybody else can listen. Moms, you can listen to, because this is for you. But we just wanted to reach out to the young fly grandmas like us and talk to the grandmas that are celebrating, the 10th year of their 50th anniversary of their 50th,
Yes.
the 10th anniversary of their 50th birthday. We want to talk to those grandmas. And even if you're younger too, whomever you are, 40s, whatever, we want to talk to you about some things, because sometimes, especially as grandmas like us, we are kind of stuck in the middle a little bit. We're not only taking care of our grandchildren, but not saying taking care, but helping to take care of our grandchildren. But we also have to take care of ourselves, and we also have to take care of our parents, right? We have to help with our parents. So we kind of like that
Right.
stuck, that I don't want to say stuck, but that I want to say stuck in the middle, but we kind of like that sandwich
Yeah.
uh, uh, generation. And so what I'm saying is, like, you might not even realize that there's some additional things that you could do. And you don't want to get 10, 20, 30 years down the line and go, if I knew that, I would have done that. So one of the things you said, Aaliyah, you said, I want to talk to these grandmas to let them know about that they can set up a retirement plan for
And
their grandchildren.
yes,
I
yes,
never heard
yes.
of that. I haven't heard of that when I was younger. I never heard we talk about setting up, maybe taking them on a vacation, a party next week. Who thought about talking about 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now for that child? I didn't know. Did you?
Nope. We don't think that far in advance because we just don't. And I didn't. I never did with, when I had my son, I didn't think that far in advance. And some of the things that I've learned later in life are so important. So, where I may have missed setting up the retirement for my son, I can do that for my grandkids. And so the other day, I had a client to call me, and they listen. People listen. You don't think that they're listening and they're watching and they're questioning, but they may not have the time. So Carmen is a teacher by trade. She can teach. She understands how to get through to people. And so financial literacy is something that she teaches. You know, that is that when you say financial literacy, it means so many different things. I've seen people that be your own bank and all this kind of stuff. It means setting up, getting your credit score done, setting up a business, doing multi-level marketing and for retirement and all kinds of different things. But financial literacy means you understand money. You talked about the rule of 72. You talked the retirement plan is something easy that you can set up for your grandchildren, and your child can either own the policy or you, and it's life insurance. That's the taboo. Life insurance, you
So,
don't talk
so,
about it.
so listen. So I don't want us to jump yet into financial literacy because that's something we definitely got to talk about.
Right.
But I know that this was something specific for you because it's something you have started for
Yes.
your grandchildren.
Yes.
I have started for my grandchildren.
Yes.
So I'm listening out there and I want to know, what are you talking about a retirement plan for my grandchild?
Okay.
And hey, ladies and gentlemen, we do, we're talking to grandfathers too, not just grandparents, period, but we just happen to be fly grandmas. So, but what we're saying is that you can use, here's some myths. Life insurance is just for when people can only use it when you die. Not you, but your family can only use it when you die. So
Right.
get rid of that myth. That is not true.
Throw it out the window.
Out the window. And so many other cultures, so many other people are using life insurance to generate wealth. It's one of the greatest wealth generating tools that there is. And so tonight we're talking to you about how you can set up something that's specifically called cash value life insurance. And for your grandchild, we're talking about an index universal life
Yes.
policy.
Yes.
And listen, it is basically it is how you turn your child into a millionaire, how you call your today's baby tomorrow's millionaire, how you make sure that your child will be a millionaire. And guess what? They told you that money doesn't grow on trees, but we're going to grow this. We weren't born into wealth, but we are going to grow it. We will show you as a grandparent, as a parent, how you can put away between $1 and $5 a day for your child to turn your child into a millionaire later. Right.
Wow.
That's what we were showing you. If you want to know some more information about how you do this plan, how you set up this type of account for your child, you want to reach out to us. We are at the millionaireladiesmob@gmail.com. Millionaireladiesmob@gmail.com. And basically, we can show you step by step how to turn your child into a millionaire with as little as $30 per month, and higher. What is 5 times 30? $150 per month.
Right.
So
Right.
between 30 and $150, we can show you how you do this. No one, if somebody how many of you spend $30 a month
You
at
know what, Carmen?
McDonald's?
Carmen, I just saw a commercial. The average cup of coffee that you buy out now today is $4.
Wow. So let
$4.
let wait, here's my phone. You know, I pay a lot of money for this phone. It's a calculator too. So $4. And let's say you're only buying coffee 20 days because you only go to work for that's $80 a month on coffee. How many of you would give up 2 cups of that coffee to put toward a millionaire plan for your grandchild? How many of you
That's a
would
good
make the
question.
coffee at home so that you could do that?
That's what I started doing. And when I started thinking about the retirement plan for my grandchildren, I said, okay, how much can I afford to put away for them? And their parents do what they do. They
Yeah.
work and they take care of their kids, but I could do something extra because I want to make sure that 50 years from now, when people are getting ready to retire, or 40 years from now, when they're thinking about their 401k and the stock market is losing money and they've made a bad investment on something, that, oh, wait a minute, this is something grandma had set aside for me. Now, when I have my kids, what am I going to do? This is how you train them and teach them. This is what you do for your family.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And think about that legacy that it creates. There's a reason why the Rockefellers can name their great, 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 great grandfather or whatever. Because you know what? Something was left for them, something in their name. So now, grandma, you can set this up for your grandchild. And like you said, the grandchild will then set it up for his children and grandchildren, and we will keep this going forward. Now, and that's the way to create legacy, right? That's the way that we create legacy. That's the way that we pass down education and things like that. So I'm asking you though, this sounds all fancy and all fancy schmancy. I hear you, and I hear you with your $30 a month, but I got like $5 a month that I could put, and plus I have a bunch of grandchildren. So can I? Is there something else, anything else that I can do for my grandchild with like a $30 a month, or I mean, or with $4 or $5 a month? Is there anything else I can do? What can you tell me?
Yeah, there is. And that's what I did in the beginning before I learned about the IUL. I got the small amount because I knew the importance of having something that built up value. I knew that. But I even having an insurance background and working for insurance companies for many years, like for the big ones, Prudential and Mass Mutual, I saw these guys doing this stuff for their clients, but I really didn't grasp and understand what they were doing. And so now that I've learned about this, I can't keep it a secret because I want to make sure, like right now, my 401k, I looked at it and really over the last few months, it's gone down. Not because I'm not contributing, but it's because of the stock market, the things that I
Yeah,
have in it.
everything's down.
But I'm not risk averse, so I'm going to let it ride. But the thing is, I don't want the kids, the grandchildren to have to think about that or worry about that. And so someone told me about Index Universal Life. I didn't understand it in the beginning. So I'm like, oh, then I think it was you. And someone in our agency helped me design a policy for my granddaughter. And then I said, okay, this is it. And I don't even worry about it. It's just like that. Netflix comes out of my checking account every month. It comes out of there every month. I don't worry about it because that is a part of my budget. And that's how we can make this a part of your budget. Even if it's $5, start somewhere because there you can design the policy. Let's say you start with a small amount. You can design the policy where if you get a bonus at work or if you get a windfall, you win the lottery or something, or something happens good and you have some money, you can put a little extra in there and it won't create a taxable event. You make sure of all this in the beginning. So Carmen, that's what I enjoy about, especially in the insurance industry. We don't like to talk about insurance, but guess what? These are things that I learned that I get excited about. And
Right.
Carmen
And
has told us.
I'm glad that you said that explaining some people, I might be speaking to you right now, and what you do is you put up $1,000 a year for your grandchild in a savings account. You might give it to him on his birthday. You might say on their birthday. I actually know someone that puts a $1,200 a month, $1,200 not a month, $1,200 a year on the birthday in the grandchild's account every year, on the birthday,
Mhm.
right? So it's like $100 a month. That right there, we want you to understand that putting it in a savings account that's giving you back less than 1%. And even if we said 1%, interest rates are rising. I'm not thinking the bank is going to be all generous and rise, give you a big rise anyway. But I'm telling you, it's less than 1%, less than 1% that they're
Whew.
giving, right?
Wow.
So $1,200, um you basically will be getting, let's do the math. 10% of $1,200, $120,
Hmm.
right? So it's $1.20 is the most that you would get on your $1,200. Now,
Wow.
inflation over the last 2 years was running at about 8%, 9%. But even if we don't even choose that, even if we say, well, that's a fluke because of the pandemic and everything else that we're going through. So even at inflation at 3%, right? That $1,200 next year is only going to buy, it's not going to be able to buy the same thing that it would buy this year. It would have gone down. If we use an average of 3%, it would have gone down 300 something dollars. Meanwhile, right? Meanwhile, sorry, nope, I was wrong. Not 300 something dollars. $3 and something cents. Is that right? Nope, 300 something dollars. I was right. I don't fault me for my math skills right here. But what I'm trying to say is that you are losing money in that savings account. Now we can take that same money and put it into uh, one of these millionaire babies plan that we're talking about, right? Um, and now you're earning anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6, 12% a year on that, right? We can't make any guarantees to you that it's gonna make 6% or it's gonna make 12%. We can guarantee you that you will not lose any,
That's
it will
right.
not go down. you know
That's right.
if you were putting it in a stock market or something like that. But I'm not comparing it with a stock market. I'm comparing it that you're just saving this money for your grandchild's future in a savings account. And I'm saying take that money and put it in one of these plans. Listen to why that is smarter. Number one, you're I don't want to use the word guaranteed. You're gonna, most of the time, you're gonna earn a lot more interest than what you would earn in the bank. Second of all, you've protected your grandchild's insurability, meaning
Oh,
that even if something, if your grandchild came down with some kind of illness, that most insurance companies are going to say, now we're not going to insure them, or that they have to pay for more for insurance. You have protected that, because now um, that child can now add on to whatever you have started for him. Most of the times, up to 5 and 6 times. And then when the child grows up, as long as they're in good health, they can do more. You just start where you are. The key is to start, as Saran said. You can start where you are and do what you can right now, right? So call us and let us design that plan. And why do we say it's a retirement plan? Because although it has a death benefit tied to it, you're able to use what is called the living benefits. You're able to use it for retirement. You're able to use it for if you got chronically or critically ill. You're able to use it to pay down debt. You're able to use it for an emergency fund if something happens. You're able to use it for if an investment came across your thing. The child is getting ready to go to college. You can use the money on a down payment to buy a duplex, and then the child can live in one, or the child and the roommate can live in one, and they can rent the other one out, and now the mortgage is paying for the whole thing. And now that's what we're talking about. It
Right.
is this is you can use it to pay for whether the it's books or whatever it is for college. There's so many ways, and guess what? You are the owner of that policy. The child is not the owner. You are the owner, and if you are the owner, you are in control. The one thing I want you to remember, in the insurance company, when you are the owner, you are the most important person when we're talking about cash value insurance, because you control what happens with it. You
Right.
don't even control what happens with your money when you put it in the bank, because the bank can take it and lend it out to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. But in an insurance policy, you control your cash. It's nobody else can borrow it unless you say they can.
Now,
And that
Carmen,
means you don't want it right there and then.
you said something that really struck me. You said making sure you are guaranteeing your child's insurability. And when my client called me to do their retirement plan for their child, one thing they said is they want that with those, they want the living benefits, because we talk about it. Living benefits. We had a segment on, what was it called, Friends with Benefits.
Yes, we did.
And what living benefits are. If you, it protects against disability. If your child gets disabled, we have a lot of active children now. They're doing all kind of things, sports, their fingers, and I mean, they do, what do you call that, on the screen? What do you,
The
video
video
games?
games.
They have all kinds of things. They're not going out as much as they used to, like riding bikes and skiing and things, skating and things like that. Hopefully they'll get back to that. But let's say they have an accident where they're doing something and they get critically injured. They're protected because you took care of that. How will that make you feel if one day you can just think about, I protected my grandchild or my child against
Right.
anything that could happen to them? If they, kids are having heart attacks now, they're stressed out. COVID created mental illness all over the place. So we're protecting our children for future occurrences. That was so powerful what you said.
Wow, thank you, thank you. But you are absolutely right. I'm glad that you went. I remember that where we were doing an illustration for a client who wanted to make sure that their child would have 650,000, $700,000 by the time that they were 21, and we were
Wow.
able to do that. You remember that?
I
We were
do.
we were able to do that.
I do.
That
I
client
remember.
was able to put a couple of $100 a month, but was able to achieve that goal of making sure that when their child was, I think, 25, they wanted to have at least $750,000, and we were able to do that for that client. And if the only thing that you can do, though, if the only thing that you can do is make sure that you put an insurance policy on your grandchild, whether it's for 30, 40, 50, even $10,000, at the cost of $2, $3, $4 a month, do it. Why? We live in a crazy world, right?
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
are getting shot in schools, on the playground, out just at a parade. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. Just listen.
To the
Don't listen
news.
to the news, but go check for yourself. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you
I
a
don't watch
story,
news
right?
anymore.
Yeah, but I'm not telling you a story. So basically, I'm just saying, um, this is something that you can do. You can set up a retirement plan for your
we
grandchild.
we're going to say this all every episode. GoFundMe is not a retirement plan.
It definitely isn't. It definitely isn't. I remember I've seen so many some GoFundMe do get, some people are, I always say lucky, because who's lucky to have gotten to the point where they have to create a GoFundMe. But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is some GoFundMes get funded, but some
some don't.
do not,
Yeah.
right? So let me ask you, now that grandparents know that they can get set up a retirement plan for their grandchild. Now that I like that crowdfunding is not a financial plan, but now that they know that they can do that, and that's something that they can contact us to get them started. Another thing I should have mentioned: you and the parents, you guys can come together. So what if you can only do $15 a month, or $25 a month, or $50 a month, and the parent can do the other 50? Just the fact that you can get that in and get that child covered and start to build wealth, start to grow money on trees for that child
I love that.
is
It grows on trees.
right, is good to do. So but with that, we want to teach children, we want to teach people, our children, about financial literacy. And like you said, financial literacy means a whole bunch of things to a whole bunch of different people. I just want to simplify it to this: financial literacy means knowing how money works and knowing how to make money work for you, right? If you listened to me last night, I talked to you about minding your own business. That's the number one way. If you mind your own business, you are going to reduce taxes, which means you're going to have money available to put it to work for you. But we want to talk to you about three concepts when it comes to financial literacy that we have to pass down to our children. And the very first thing is time value of money, right? So we already said that money today, if you didn't hear me say these words, this is what I meant. Money today is worth more than money in the future. Money today is worth more than money in the future. If you don't believe me, how many bags of chips could you buy for $1 back in the day?
Carmen, they weren't chips like 5, 10 cents?
I mean,
Long time ago. That's a long time ago. But no, you could get a
maybe you
bag.
should move a little bit further, right? You could
Let's
buy
say,
4 bags of chips. That's right. You could buy 4 bags of chips for
a
$1.
dollar.
You 4 bags of chips for $1. Go see how many bags of chips you can buy for $1 right
Oh
now.
my God.
And
You
that
can't.
tells you that money now is worth more in the future. There's a reason why when you purchase something right now, they try to get you to pay right now. They're like, she said half a bag, but they're like, listen, you pay now, right? We can break up your payments into four. We have this company that will break up your payments into four, but that's because this company right here is trying to get your money now. It's like, I want it all and I want it now. You remember that commercial back in the day? I want it all and I want it now. That's what it is. Money is worth more right now. And the way to and that is, of course, because what we talked about, that you lose the purchasing power of your money due to inflation, right?
Carmen, I'm going to
So
step away for a minute to close my blinds, okay? Because the sun is about to kill me. Hold on one
all right,
second.
just go right ahead. So I'm going to continue talking. So that is one of the first things: time value of money. Understanding that money is worth a lot more right now than it is worth in the future, right? The second thing is compounding.
Oh wow.
The second thing that I want you to yeah, the people in California with their son. compounded. Um, who was it that said, Saran is on, she could probably tell us the name of the guy that said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world.
Mhm. She posted that, I think. I don't remember who it was.
I keep forgetting all the time. Is that Einstein? I
I
think it
think it
was
was.
Einstein that said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. That's right. It was Einstein that said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. So here's the thing. Remember, I told you that money, time value of money now is worth more than in the future. So you want to start right now, start with what you have right now. Well, there is, and I don't actually have the example in front of me, but you can have somebody, let's say you have a 25-year-old that puts up a 21-year-old or so that puts up $100 for about 8 years a month, $100 a month for about 8 years at about 8 or 9%. After 30 years, that person will have $1 million, over $1 million, because of compounding, but also because they started early. Now, if you have someone who waits for 8 or 9 or 10 years and then start, even if they put up the same amount of money, at the end of 30 years, they're going to have way less. They may have $500,000 in there, or $600,000 in there. It is way less, because when money is compounded, it's crazy how it works. That's why it's like magic, right? I've given this example before. You guys can Google it. If you took a penny and double it every single day, at the end of 30 days, you will have over $5 million. Now, just think about that. At the end of day 3, what do you have? So it doubled, you have 2 cents. Then it doubled again, you have 4 cents. At the end of day 3, you have 6 cents. By the
Mhm.
end of day 30, you have over $5 million. That's the power of compounding. And that's what we have to know. So, what it tells us is that we have to start saving early. Do
Somewhere.
not save your money in a bank. The banks do not save their money in a bank. Save your money in a cash value policy. Am I saying that's the only thing you should do? No, that's what I'm the expert in. So I want you to do that as part of your portfolio. And that's what we have to teach children, because children grow into adults. And how are they expected to know these things? That's why we have a bunch of, oh, I'm just not going to say it. I was going to say a bunch of, I'm saying, but that's why we have people that do not understand how money works, because we are not talking about it. And some of it we did not know about, but now it's hard to just say you didn't know. Everybody is on here talking about it right now. So
Right.
you can go research some more for yourself and you can do it. Saran said exponential growth. I
Yes.
explained exponential growth and compounding the other day to my grandchildren. And you guys might think that I'm crazy of how I chose to explain it to her. But I told her, you know I had that thing for my grandbabies the other day, right? We
Yeah,
were
I
doing the
saw that.
celebration, whatever. So we're starting wealth trainings, because they're all at about the age now where they can understand. There's one little one that's 2, but everyone else is at the age where they can understand. And I explained compounding of using an example of something that's going on right now in the world, right? The pandemic, the COVID. I told him, I said, I was talking to my 10-year-old at that time, my 10-year-old granddaughter. And I said, there was one person that had COVID in California, just one. If that one person came in contact with about 10 people, right? Now 10 people have it. But if each of those 10 people gave it to 10 more people, right? Now that's 10 times. Now you got 100 people. Now those 100 people, if each of those give it to 10 more people, do you see how quickly, that's within days, we can get to hundreds of thousands of people that
Wow.
are
That's a
affected?
great, great, great way to explain it. I mean,
And
that's really
that's
good.
how I explain compounding to her. And that's how I explained it that how it works when it comes to dollars. We put our dollar someplace and it earns interest. And yeah, we talk about interest. And these are the things we're saying you can do with your grandbabies. Keep
Right.
watching. We have the wealth course for children coming.
Right. Now,
Yes,
Carmen, is insurance the only thing? Because that's what we do. But
absolutely not.
okay, and see, you can diversify. We're talking about
We want you to.
a vehicle that can help. This is your retirement plan over here, you know. But if you want a stock market, I'm not averse to the stock market
Oh, absolutely not.
and forex. I never heard of forex until about, I'd say, about 8 years ago. I didn't know what is
Right.
a forex.
And what if our children knew that when they were little? So
Right,
our children didn't know, but we can do this with our grandchildren, right?
right, right. And Bitcoin and those coins, altcoins.
Two
These
right.
are.
Two
I'm
of
not gonna.
my babies are going to be doing stock market trading course with
Ooh,
me next month.
you're gonna have them do the training course. That is, see, this is what I'm talking about. We have to help them to understand stock market. There are lots of ways you can make money. Stock market, Bitcoin, forex,
Yeah,
the life insurance. Set
cryptocurrency.
that aside and make sure that one, you just leave that one alone. Let that go, because you can never on the IUL, you can never lose. You can't lose your
Never.
money, but you can always gain. So those are things. And one more thing, I started taking a forex course.
Yes.
Girl, we have talked almost 40 minutes. Um, a forex course. I was shocked. I still don't understand the pips. And this guy is teaching me. And I'm like, my brain is not going to go. And I never thought about having my granddaughter to understand that.
So
I never thought about
listen. So listen. Saran said, "Get that crypto popping, baby." And then she said, "But the parents and grandparents need to understand or get a course," and that's absolutely true. But listen, if we can teach those grandbabies, not, I mean, um, are we talking to them now that they learn this? The
that.
grandbabies could
Right.
go learn it and come back and teach them. I don't care about the itty gritty mini whatever. All I need to know with the forex, the foreign exchange. Number one, you could trade 24 hours a day. That's
Yeah.
great. The second thing is, all I need to know is what's the exchange rate, right? What was this with this, and where, and now it's getting even more complicated for the human
Yep.
mind because we can't go as fast as computers, but they're having computers do this things now with AI. With AI,
AI.
yes, figuring out when it is profitable to make a trade and when it's not. And but these are all conversations that that definitely necessary for us to have with our grandchildren and with our children and even with our adult children. And if you don't know, we're ready to talk to you. Call us. We're ready to talk to you about what you can do to get these plans started, or what else you can do to ensure that your grandchildren are a part of this great wealth journey that we are
Right, right.
doing.
Carmen, I have another question. So let's say a grandparent is on a fixed income. They just this is what I have, but I can't do this. You know what? We have to have a segment on this. Some really good side hustles.
Oh
And
my
a
God,
good
yes,
side
yes.
hustle.
And you're absolutely right, because there's some people at home and they think, business, that just sounds like so much. I can't do that. Might be so much. There's just so many great things that, number one, it could be something that you're already doing
Right.
and you might be doing it for free. Monetize, baby.
That's right.
Monetize.
Stop
Put
making
that
those cakes for free.
put that in the put that in the comments there, Saran. Monetize, baby. But there are other things that you can do. There are things like um affiliate market, which means you are not even selling, you're not making anything. You are selling somebody or promoting somebody else's thing. And
That's
there's
right.
so many people out there that want to get, listen, you and I might say, "Oh yeah, we know who Tony Robbins is." Somebody else is gonna be like, "Tony who?" So
Yep.
guess what? If you are in that place where you have people saying Tony who, you're saying Tony who, or others around you are saying Tony who, and you expose Tony to them, Tony's gonna split that money with you.
That's right.
Tony's gonna split that money with you. So, and I have, that's another thing. Like, I have to push. You can make affiliate marketing money so many different ways. We're not about
Yes,
to stay here. We will probably do an overview of a course one time, but we're not about to sit here and go through that point by point by point. But Google it, research it, start
yep,
looking, you
yep.
know? And then there's other people who that is their niche. That's exactly what they do, right? And if you don't want to look for information, I'm going to tell you this. If you don't want to look for information, you have to be willing to pay for information.
That's right.
You know, if you don't want to do the research, when someone else does the research, don't expect them to give it to you for free. They're gonna charge you for that information. And if you don't want to pay for that information, then use that, what God gave you between your brain, between your two ears, that brain, and go do it for yourself. But that's another way of making money. I've seen, you can, even on our look, you guys see it right there, Carmen10k.com and Aaliyah10k.com. That's our digital business card. Go visit it. Go visit Carmen10k.com, Aaliyah10k.com, Saran10k.com. Go visit those, right? And if you see it and you're a business owner and you realize, I need to have my information in one place like this. So here's a nugget I'm giving you, a drop into you. I need to have my information in one place like this. You can then get a card. When you go and purchase your card, we will make a few dollars. Is it money to make us rich? No, but we could buy our coffee and not interrupt paying for our grandchild's retirement plan.
Right. That's right. It's so much, Carmen. We have, just the things in order to create the wealthy or stable child, because you want them to have stability in their life. The world today is full of chaos. And one thing that has not changed is life insurance. That has not changed. In all the years, it has not changed. The tax code for life insurance. Why why? Why hasn't it changed? Because
Because
we
the
really
wealthy
didn't.
people understand that's a way
That's
to
right.
to to to,
That's
to
right.
generate wealth.
That's
They
right.
understand that. It's gotten, like Saran said, it's gotten better. Let me tell you something. It's not going to change. Index Universal Life is pretty new. It's only been around since the 80s. But life insurance and cash value insurance has been around for over 200 years.
Yep.
Let me tell you, go back. Walt Disney built, there would be no Walt Disney without cash value life
That's
insurance.
right.
There would be no McDonald's without cash value life insurance. JC Penney would have disappeared without cash value life insurance.
Hmm.
Pampered Chef, Dorothy, whatever, I don't know, whatever. That would not even exist without cash value life insurance. Y'all
Yep.
should look up all those people and see what's the common denominator with them. But I'm telling you this. She said, Pamper, yeah, we did say all that. But I'm telling you this. It is not exclusive to one race or one set of people. This is also for us.
Yes.
But it's, you
We
use the
gotta jump on
tax
that.
code. I want y'all to remember this word. The word for this week is leverage. The word for this week is
Okay.
leverage. And if I ask it another time and you remember that the word for the week on August 11th was leverage, you may win something from us. But we have got to understand how to leverage the tax code to generate wealth. Y'all hear me? The tax code is what I'm talking about when it
Carmen,
comes
don't
to
do you do
life
taxes?
insurance,
Do
huh?
you do taxes?
I sure do.
Okay.
I sure do. And if you listen, if anybody was on last night, you listened to me talk about why everybody should mind their own business. Because if you mind your own business, you're able to use that tax system that all the others use while you're over here complaining that you're paying more taxes and they're paying less. All it is that you have to have the proper structures to be able to participate in that. You have to have an index universal lifetime policy if you want your child to have money that is guaranteed to grow, that they can use for so many different things that they will not lose. You have to have it. You got to be in it to win it.
You have to be in it to win it.
And I know you said we were on here so for so long, and I wanted us to touch on the fact that we should teach our babies about credit. Our babies
Yeah.
should understand that the difference between a debit card and a credit card. Our babies should not think that because you take, because they're looking at us. You take the card and you go and you put it in and it spits out money. They think that's how you get it, so we have to teach them that. We
Mm,
have to teach them about like if they all running around with a phone bill, I mean a cell phone.
yep.
All of them have a cell phone. My granddaughter called me yesterday. I picked up the phone. I don't know whose number this is. I'm like, whose number is this?
Yep.
It's a phone. She said, Papi, I got a new cell phone. This is
Uh-huh.
my number.
Yep. Yep.
This is
My
my
granddaughter
phone
does too.
number. And it's not old either. It's an iPhone 12, she said. And so,
Oh.
yeah, I was like, iPhone 12. I think that's what I got.
Hmm.
But
And
she,
they know how to use it. So that means they're smart.
so let's tell them that that is a contract that we pay every single month. And if we don't pay it, then it's going to affect, there's some people that collect all these things on everybody, and it's going to affect later on when we go to do something. So now if we don't pay this on time, when we want to go buy a car, or when we want to go buy a home or something like that, and they're going to check to see if you've been paying your bills on time, and then they see that you haven't, then they're not going to let you do it, which by the way is the reason why you should do infinite banking. I'm not advocating not to pay your bills, but then now you can get your loan from yourself.
So
But
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Infinite banking is different from the IUL, right?
infinite banking is definitely different from the IUL.
All
And I
right.
see people, I'm going to say this. I'm glad you said that so I can say this. Give me a reason to say. I see people running around telling you that infinite banking, that you can use an IUL for infinite banking. You can sort of in 10, 15 years, because it takes a while for that to grow depending on how you're funding it. But even so, we you want to talk to us about infinite banking and becoming your own bank, you can come ahead and come along and talk to us now about that. It's a different product. It's a product that you can basically create your own bank within less than a month, 10
Yeah.
days to a month.
Yeah.
By the way, you can't come in here and put $500 in your bank and expect to draw out 5,000. It's just like a real bank.
I can't do that.
You can't do that. It's just like a real bank in that you can draw out more than you put in. So, however, it allows you to again leverage the tax code to use that money tax free.
Wow.
And it,
This has been powerful. I can't tell you how excited I am for all the grandmas, and parents out there. You grandpas too. Don't forget about the grandpa.
oh,
Grandpa,
definitely not.
you can do it too. You can start the conversation. You're the head of the family. Grandpa, start the conversation. Grandma, you know what? Encourage him, help him. We want to make sure our grandchildren are taken care of for the future because they're going to need this. I went to a store, and I think about 2 months ago, a pack of chicken wings was it was $19. When I went the other day, it was 32. Our kids are not going to be able to make it. We have got to help them. We've got, with this inflation, we have got to help our families because it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. Okay.
Yeah, it's up like running at 9% right now. It seemed like it was a little bit lower than last month, and as well as from the month before. But regardless, we have got to basically, again, I'm gonna say that word again, the word of the week.
Leverage.
We've got to leverage our dollars so that we are doing more than one thing with our dollars, so that we are using the tax code to our benefit because everybody else does. We can't sit and complain that Jeff Bezos is not paying as much taxes or he didn't have to pay any taxes, whatever. We just have to leverage the tax code to help us. And
Right.
that's what we do. We
The
leverage the
wealthy
tax
do it.
code. The wealthy do that, right? Do what the wealthy do. We want to leverage that tax code for setting up our retirement plans. We want to leverage that tax code for growing wealth that we will be able to transfer, that will be able to begin to narrow and bring down the wealth gap. Look,
Right.
with our, with the agency that we work with, we want to put this year $1 billion worth of face value worth of life insurance on in the Black community. Why is that important? People are going to die. I'm sorry. There's the only thing that is guaranteed. And wouldn't it be better if we died and left a couple of $1 million
That would be
to
nice.
our families?
Yes.
And now families, now we can begin to close that wealth gap. If we want to close it, that is one way that we can do.
Right. Right. Now I think we've been over an hour. We're gonna wrap it up. And Carmen, you want to get your ending going on, and then it's like what, an hour and 2 minutes.
Saran says we cannot get out of life alive. And
That's right.
I've been saying that. A kid actually, kids say the darndest thing, but a kid actually said that to me in the classroom
Oh wow.
when I used to allow my eighth graders. Hey, eighth grade. Well, now they're married with children and stuff like that. But if y'all are watching me, I used to allow them to do. I did the yearbook for years, and I would used to allow them to put a quote when they're graduating under their thing, under their pictures. And this one kid says, don't be so serious. Don't take life so serious.
Serious.
Not gonna
Oh.
get out alive. And
Oh.
it was shocking at first, but it's the absolute truth,
It
right?
is true.
We're not gonna get out of life alive.
It is so
So this
true.
is something that we can do. I am Carmen Bernard. It was my absolute pleasure to be here talking with Aaliyah and sharing some information to you out there. Please reach out to us. It's free to talk to us. You can reach me at carmen10k.com.
Thank you, Carmen. And I am Aaliyah Sherrod. We are glammas. We are grandmas. We're talking to all you grandpas out there. Help your family, help your grandkids. I provide solutions to the biggest problems today, and that is providing health care to families, helping you protect your income, eliminate debt, reduce taxes, and I want to help you create and build family legacy for generations. You can reach me at Aaliyah 10K. And we thank you so much for joining us on the Millionaire Ladies Mob weekly at 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time, and whatever is in between. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to another lively conversation next week. And we really look forward to having Saran and Shalonda. I had a senior moment there. Shalonda. So
That
thank
was
you guys
that
so
was your glamness showing. Yes,
All
yes.
right. Thank you guys. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.